So what good is melody? What good is music?
If it ain't possessing something sweet.
No, it ain't the melody.
No,
It ain't the music. Yeah, there's something else that makes the tune complete.
it don't mean nothing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Yeah, it don't mean nothing if it ain't got that sweet swing, baby. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. It's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you've got.
Give that rhythm
Yeah,
everything you've
don't mean nothing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah.
He rules supreme at the Cotton Club. She-doo-ba-doo-wah-wah.
Yeah, hear the jumping beat.
To the jungle beat. The room is swaying and the mob is laying their money down. Now all around the Big Apple, the heartbeat is king. And you had best get understand, you ain't got that swing. And now up to the microphone strolls an alto scatterphone. Oh yeah.
Ba-dee-da-da, be-da-da, be-da-da, It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. It's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you've got.
Give that rhythm.
Yeah, don't mean nothing if it ain't got that swing. It ain't got that swing. Don't mean nothing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wah, 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 do-wah. Do-wah, 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 do-wah.
Well, welcome one and all from wherever you are joining us. We bid you a warm, warm welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is the Reverend Barbara Gaydon. I'm the lead minister at Elliott Unitarian Chapel and your officiant at this service. I feel so honored. While gathering online is really no substitute for being in person, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be together and to honor Ken's life. We're here especially to support Ken's family, his wife, Kathy, his sons, Eric and Scott, and their families, his brother, Dan, and his sister, Barbara, and their families too. I will now light the chalice, which is the symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith. In our tradition, it represents the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the call to service. We honor it today especially to honor Ken and his bright spirit.
Comfort to you when pain and sorrows come. May we answer for you. glory surround you every day. Laughter and warmth labor to fill your soul. May all your trials bring you wisdom in return. When death grows near, may you go gratefully, like a great swan soars returning to her nest. Thankful to live, heart full and open wide, may you rest blessed in the harbor of God's love. May you rest blessed in the harbor of God's love.
Kathy has selected a reading for us. The reading is by Ken, actually. The best things in life are nearest, and it's based on writings by Robert Louis Stevenson. The best things in life are nearest. Breath in your nostrils, light in your eyes. The best things in life are here. The best things in life are close by. Flowers at your feet, duties at your hand. The path of right just before you. This is the wisdom hardship brings on. Too simple to steal or sell. This is the simplicity of newborn eyes, the gold of golden years. The best things in life are anywhere. An easy walk, a heartfelt talk, a quiet song shared with friends. Well, we are here to mourn the death and to celebrate the life of Ken Dodds. Much of what I am about to say was written by his family in a beautiful and heartfelt obituary. Kenneth Gordon Dodds lived a life in which he passionately tried to make sense of the rhyme and rhythm of this world through music and science. He was born in Herrin, Illinois on July 25th, 1947, to Gordon and Evelyn Dodds. He was a middle child between older sister Barbara and younger brother Dan. A very creative child, Barbara tells me, always making things. After moving to Edwardsville, Illinois for most of his childhood, Ken attended the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where he played trumpet in the band and majored in musical composition. No surprise there. During the Vietnam War, he was a conscientious objector, doing alternative service. He spent his 20s traveling and playing in bands. His compositions and recordings with a local St. Louis a cappella group, Random Access, attest to the music that he brought to this world. Music so unique that for people who knew him or played or sang with him, it has a way of instantly calling up memories with his distinctive melodies and complicated chords. After he settled in St. Louis to start a family, Ken earned a master's degree in computer science and became a respected software engineer and project manager. He energized startups before ending his career at Barnes Jewish Hospital. During this time, he was nourished by and heavily involved in the Unitarian Universalist communities of First Unitarian and Elliott Chapel, including contributing new music for the UU tradition. He also built a strong network of friends in the music community as a generous and committed musician. They said that he was a demanding composer. Melinda described to me a Ken chord. She said if you back into the piano and you sat on it, that would about capture it, level of complexity. Beautiful when well done, horrendous if it was off. But Ken was there to help you get there, to get to the beauty that he'd intended. And this was, he was so smart, and he helped his family to reach out for beauty in all different ways. And this was good because Ken and his family had a big challenge that they lived with for many years. They lived with a progressive illness, Parkinson's, for 15 years. In 2005, when his older son Scott was about to enter college, Ken was diagnosed, and he had some symptoms, but he could still do a lot. In 2010, he had emergency spinal surgery, but instead of helping him, it made him worse, diminishing his capacity to do a lot of things and his mobility. In the last year, he lost considerable weight and more mobility. He had dark periods, but he never stayed there. His family was steadfast, especially his wife, Kathy. This was just a part of life with Ken, and life with Ken was good. Nurturing his spirits, appreciating his gifts, even the bad puns, all the way through. And they helped him to live his best life as he enriched theirs. I asked Ken's family how they thought he would want to be remembered. Certainly by music, they said. He wanted to leave a legacy of recordings and compositions. But he would also want to be remembered as a person of integrity and principles, always working to do his best. One of his musician friends said, profound kindness. He was always coming by with a kind word after a performance. He personally understood how important that was to someone. And he had an appreciative view of the world, Kathy said. He was, as Henry James once said, a person on whom nothing was lost. All of you who survive Ken, carry forward his spirit. His sense of exploration and his keen mind will brighten our lives, always. Amen.
May I have faith to meet this moment's need, faith beyond name of deity or creed, faith in the heart of all that may be, faith in each seed God stirs in me. When I hear questions from an anxious child, may I trust truth like thorny rose to unfold. When greedy deeds bring quick reward, may I have voice and make it heard. May I receive with grace each gift of light, words from a friend or evening strolls delight, food cooked with care or brick laid square. May these spark hope and keep love near. Amen.
I now invite Ken's family to come and share tributes with us, how they knew him, how he touched their lives, beginning with his wife, Kathy.
Hello, all. I am so grateful we are all together in this odd way, for sure, but here we are, and our hearts are here, and I appreciate it so, so, so much. And Ken, I think, would be so happy with the way this service is, his beautiful music. I just think he's with us, and he can be happy. I am just so glad. The song is ended, but the melody lingers on. Irving Berlin. Ah, yes, the melody in our hearts of Ken's whole being lingers on. Given his wonderful musical talent, some of his songs will be recorded and linger on. His songs were like a bursting forth of his strong spirit, like a large waterfall, full and frothy in the mountains, like a wide field of full flowers, sometimes rough, like the tall, craggy cliffs. His spirit spoke deep in his music. When I first met Ken, I wrote a funny poem I no longer have, of him being like Superman. He presented like Clark Kent, simple, reserved, and then, whoa, out bolted Superman. The Superman of song, as you have just heard, and bright mind, wit, and strong integrity. He would hike up mountains sure-footed, sometimes with one of our children on his back. He was a super worker in IT for many years, super confident, super reliable. Ken was a very good father, excelled in patience. I got more rattled than he did. It was a joy to raise our two sons, Scott and Eric, together. He often talked in recent times of his happiness with their being such fine, independent people, and then their being with wonderful wives. Fortunately, he was able to attend both their weddings that took place in 2018. Scott and Laura in Toronto, and Eric and Rachel in Seattle. He was in delight with our new granddaughter, Molly, who turned a year old just this month. He wrote a song some years ago, Children of the Stars. We are all children of the stars. We sang this to her a couple of months ago, and it will linger. Ken always enjoyed the wonder of living. This we shared. In the last several years, when he struggled more with Parkinson's and other physical challenges, we made frequent trips to doctors. He would often point to the clouds. He was so interested in the various forms of the clouds. It made me laugh. Then I heard on NPR of the Cloud Appreciation Society. There is such a thing. 2 Christmases ago, I gave him a certificate to the Cloud Appreciation Society and a cloud mug I served him coffee in each morning. He deserves a lot more certificates. The Patience and Perseverance Society, the Bright Ideas Society, of course, the Composer of Music Society, I guess the Life Wonder Society. In the midst of struggle, Ken never stopped being grateful. Each night before dinner, we said gratitudes. And in the last months, with his increased struggle with illness and my challenge with caregiving, we also added, how is it to be in your shoes? He would say his words about his physical discomfort, and he would always follow with something he was grateful for, like the pumpkin cake I made. He enjoyed eating almost all the days before his body let go. He would be grateful for the news reporters. He was a watcher of the news. He would speak of the fall leaves and the birds. He'd be thankful for me. He'd be thankful for his sons. He'd be thankful for music. He'd be thankful for life. The song is ended, but the melody lingers on.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. I'm just going to say a few words. My daughter Molly may chime in if she's so inspired. Let's see. Okay. What I will remember most was that Dad was his own person with an unshakable moral core. He found his own way rather than thoughtlessly taking a preset path. That he seemed better for having lived a non-traditional life was always an encouragement to me to do the same. Not satisfied to be merely authentic, Dad was always trying to learn and improve, and he imparted that to his family. It was common for me to walk into the kitchen to be greeted by something like, "Hey, Scotters, have you read this new article on artificial intelligence?" Or whatever it is that he was currently interested in. Dad always wanted to share with us his love and wonder at science and modern technology and all that it had done for us. But his wonder at science, he thought compatible with a kind of religious consciousness that meant he was never stuffy or unfeeling. His many funny-esque dad jokes are an inspiration for me with his granddaughter. Never a verbose man, Dad could nonetheless be impressively articulate. I distinctly remember a long car ride back from a wedding in Omaha with much disagreement that was anything but disagreeable. It wasn't long after that, unfortunately, that his health troubles began to prevent him from trying to educate his wayward son, that his long battle with his body prevented him from having our debates was as hard for him as it was for us, I think. It's been a long goodbye. In Plato's Apology, Socrates tells the jury that he thinks the next life will either be the longest sleep or that we will get to speak with the most interesting men of the past. I like to think that it's later and that Dad and I will get to debate again one day. Thank you.
Hello. I will assume I can be heard. Thank you for being here. I will also say a few words. Like any of us, my dad was many things, from his hippie musician days to his years as a careful project manager and loving father. He could be a cynical skeptic or also an earnest dreamer. But for me, the core image of Dad is a man ensconced at a keyboard, sometimes the typing kind, but as often as he could, the musical kind, which eventually meant the treasured baby grand in our living room. On a Saturday, Dad would sit at that piano and play the same phrases over and over for hours, correcting himself here, tweaking a bit there, adding another layer of beautiful trouble for the performer, and scribbling it down on the music or in his vast, illegible piles of ideas and lyrics. It's been several years now that I've missed hearing Dad's creativity echo through the walls of that house. In his later years, the air around him fell largely silent, but to the end, he was composing in his head and dreaming of sharing those sounds in his head with the world. I think I learned some of Dad's meticulousness and some of his quiet drive. He also taught me that there's always more to learn than you can know of, that it's okay to use a chord that you can't name, and that a graceful melody usually returns close to the notes it started on, not long after it wanders away. There is a certain steadiness and identity to it. I will cherish what Dad shared with me, as well as that identity of many parts and journeys, but a steady core.
This is his sister, Barbara. Am I on? Once upon a time, Ken was my little brother. I used to tease him until he would chase me and get in trouble with Mother. But I remember the day I realized that this kid's going to be bigger than me soon, and I better find a better way of relating to him. We had a lot of fun playing together. I bought a ticket on his spaceship and a share in his gold mine. Didn't make any money on those ventures, but we had a lot of fun. We enjoyed running through pasteboard mountains and
playing Tarzan with the vines. He entered high school when I left for college, so I didn't get to hear him accompany the Gilbert and Sullivan opera Iolanthe or hear his band concert or piano recitals. He majored in music at the University of Illinois and began his interest in composing at that time. As he became adult, I remember his strong commitment to values and to music. During the Vietnam War, he served as a conscientious objector, working in a program of the Brethren Volunteer Service in a home for disturbed boys. He spent several years in a commune and toured for several years with a band called Crossroads. His music ranged from funny to profound, but always had a message of caring, love, and equality. He wrote a special piece for my wedding. For about 10 years after we both retired, I enjoyed attending concerts with Ken. The symphony, the Union Opera, the chamber chorus, the Block Society, and a variety of local musicians. It was great to have someone who shared my tastes and who could talk about the music with me. Last weekend, I listened to the St. Louis Symphony on the radio and really missed being able to share it with Ken. As Ken grew older, I appreciated his love of beauty. One of his children's songs, "To Fly with the Birds," captures this part of him. A huge flock of starlings filled the sky one dark day, chased away owls and barn cats, squawking loudly, bombs away. I was sure I detested that troublesome flock until they danced as if one in the sky. If such quarrelsome starlings could learn to swoop and soar together while spread across the sky, surely I too will take wing and soar with my friends on high. During his final years, I remember so many days watching the starlings with him. He wrote several songs for children and always enjoyed my grandchildren. They loved him too because he would pay attention to them, watch their tricks, and play games with him. We all miss him, and I hope that, like the starlings, he's soaring with his friends on high. And that, like the starlings and the wishes in so many of his songs, we can learn to work together as one.
Thank you, everyone, so much for your words. Get such a full picture of Ken. Please join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, we give thanks for this dear man and his good life on this earth. We are grateful for the many, many gifts he shared with us and with the world. So much music, so much sweetness. We give thanks for all that was kind in him and all that he has taught us. Befriend us in our grief, O God, and soothe our hearts. And in the days to come, may we be alert for his presence, discovering and rediscovering all the ways that he lives on in us. May we find something of him now as we come together from many different corners, this one life bringing together the many. We seek release from anything unfinished or unsaid, assured that our love is enough. Remind us to seek in one another and in this beautiful world the strength we need for the days to come. Now let us dwell together in silence, each of us offering our own silent prayers and thanks. Amen.
When I am gone, don't you cry for me. Don't
don't you pity my sorry soul? What pain there might have been will now be gone, and my spirit will be whole. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll have left my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way. When I'm gone, don't you cry for me. Don't you pity my sorry soul. What pain there might have been will now be past, and my spirit will be whole. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll have left my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way.
When I am gone, please forgive the wrongs that I might have done to you. There'll be no room for regrets up there. I'm already on the blue.
I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll bend my frown and all my burdens down. I'll be put on a crown. I'll be on my way. When I am gone, don't you look for me in the places I have been. I'll be alive or somewhere else. I'll be on my way again. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll bring wings for you, glory everywhere on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way. I'll lay my crown and my burdens down, put on my crown on my way. I'll let my feet of clay upon the ground. I will be glory bound. I'll be on my way.
Thank you. We have, that was a recording of the First Unitarian Church of St. Louis choir that Ken sang with and composed for many years. We have now come to the close of this service, grateful for Ken's life and for all that he has brought to us. May we carry on his legacy. When someone dies, I believe that the best way to honor them is to do what they are no longer here to do. Ken's tasks have become our tasks. And so to honor him then, we must do our best to care for those entrusted to us. We must use our gifts to build community and explore new paths. And we must not be afraid of complexity or illness, but make from it beauty and connection. Amen.
Hallelujah, amen. Hallelujah, amen.